Coronavirus Hype, Biggest Political Hoax in History by Cheryl Chumley, The Washington Times, April 28th, 2020. The new coronavirus is real. The response to coronavirus is hyped, and in time this hype will be revealed as politically hoaxed. In fact, COVID-19 will go down as one of the world's political biggest, most shameful, overblown, overhyped, overly and irrationally inflated, and outrightly deceptive, flawed responses to a health matter in American history. One that was largely carried on the lips of medical professionals who have no business running a national economy or government. The facts are this: COVID-19 is a real disease that sickens some, proves fatal to others, mostly the elderly, and does nothing to the vast majority. That's it. That, in a nutshell, is it. Or in the words of Dan Erickson and Artin Massa, doctors and co-owners of Accelerated Urgent Care in Bakersfield, California, let's get the country reopened, and now. Do we need to still shelter in place? Our answer is emphatically no. Do we need businesses to be shut down? Emphatically no. The data is showing it's time to lift, Erickson said in a recent interview. He's right. They're right. The data to keep America closed and Americans closed in simply doesn't exist. If truth be told, it's questionable if it ever did. The scientists leading the coronavirus shutdown charge predicted in March that in America between 100,000 and 250,000 would die. They based those estimates on computer modeling. But at the same time they were basing those estimates on computer modeling, they were acknowledging that computer modeling is inaccurate and errs on the side of hype. I've never actually seen a model of the disease I've dealt with where the worst case scenario actually came out, said Dr. Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and a member of President Donald Trump's White House Coronavirus Task Force. During a CNN interview in March, they always overshoot. Catch that? Fauci's message: computer models are flawed and inaccurate and always overestimate the problem. But from these faulty, overinflated computer figures came all the constitutionally questionable actions by the government anyway, from ordering businesses closed to quarantining /house arresting American citizens to doing some quick and pitiful and economically painful income redistribution schemes via stimulus funds legislation. Since about 56,000 Americans have died due to coronavirus, or have they? Again, the facts are flimsy. Government ordered hospitals weeks ago to stop performing elective surgeries to make way for the projected numbers of coronavirus patients. So they did. And in so doing, they cut off their revenue streams. So Congress passed legislation giving hospitals billions of dollars to treat coronavirus patients. Conflicts of interest? Yikes, yes. The coronavirus counts, already flawed from computer modeling, were then given another flaw treatment. Pennsylvania removes more than 200 deaths from an official coronavirus count as questions mount about reporting process data accuracy, the Inquirer reported. Add to that the ever-changing nature of a virus that spreads by air and contact, and honestly, suddenly, even expert Fauci's best guess is about as good as Joe Neighbor's best guess. So that leaves common sense, combined with knowledge of past viruses to guide. But the quote-unquote medical experts refuse to go there, refuse to acknowledge common sense, refuse to compare with past viruses in any way that didn't hype the coronavirus counts. The virus was different, Americans were told. This virus was far more contagious than anything ever before seen or studied, Americans were told. And Anytime the case counts dropped off and the numbers proved wrong, well, this was due to social distancing and quarantining and face mask wearing that Americans had been doing by government's order, Americans were told. It just didn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. It just didn't and doesn't justify the other shredding of civil rights. And now some of the medical community, thank goodness, are starting to point out the glaring omissions of logic and fact that have plagued this overhyped, overreaching coronavirus crackdown that has stressed on far, far too long. Among some of Erickson's remarks, this is immunology, microbiology 101. This is the basis of what we've known for years. When you take human beings and you say, go into your house, clean all your counters, Lysol them down, what does it do to our immune system? Sheltering in place decreases your immune system. And this, anytime you have something new in the medical community, it sparks fear. And I would have done what Dr. Fauci did initially. But looking at theories and models, which is what these folks use, is very different than the way the actual virus presents itself throughout communities. And this, do you think you're protected from COVID when you wear gloves that transfer diseases everywhere? We wear masks in an acute setting to protect us, but we're not wearing masks. Why is that? Because we understand microbiology. We understand immunology. And we want strong immune systems. I don't want to hide in my home, develop a weak immune system, and then come out and get the disease. And this, when I'm writing up my death report, I'm being very pressured to add COVID. Why is that? Why are we being pressured to add COVID? To maybe increase the numbers and make it look a little bit worse than it is? We're being pressured in-house to add COVID to the diagnostic list when we think it has nothing to do with the actual cause of the death. The actual cause of death was not COVID, but it's being reported in one of the disease processes. COVID didn't kill them. 25 years of tobacco use killed. Doesn't it get any clearer than that? Seriously, America. The only reason America is still in shutdown mode is political. Either politicians are too afraid to make any move that might come back to bite them politically, or politicians are using this coronavirus to political advantage, to say pass gun control laws like Virginia's Governor Ralph Northam, or to say float campaign hopes on the current ravaged economy like former Vice President Joe Biden and all the Democrats facing races. But for the rest of America, the rest of hard-working, freedom-loving America, it's time to reel in the radically unconstitutional. If you're going to dance on someone's constitutional rights, you better have good reason. You better have a really good reason, not just a theory, Erickson said. The data is showing us it's time to lift. So if we don't lift, what is the reason? That is a key question. As time goes by, the answer will only become more and more evident. The coronavirus may be real, but the hype is hoaxed. Now let's just hope that this is a one-time hoax that doesn't roll around every time flu season approaches. This video is a production of the School of the White Crane. Hi, my name is John Brooker. Please subscribe to this video and please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you, my beloved.